You can have a crypto Wall Street in the sky called Polkadot, or whatever you want to call it. And these young guys are just inventing it. And if you don't see the new Wall Street building going up called Polkadot, you missed the boat. But the question is, where do you put your money? I started off years ago saying cash is trash. And it's becoming trash. The more that artificial intelligence and technology makes things more efficient, prices should keep coming down, but the Fed keeps pumping it up. And so we have the guys in the middle, the people that, lesson number one in Rich Dad Poor Dad is rich don't work for money. Because the moment you do that, you're screwed. So it's coming true right now. It really deeply concerns me, especially now that I'm going, oh my God. What I was saying 25 years ago is coming true today, because that's the future now. The future of money lies in my opinion, crypto or Bitcoin and blockchain. No. When people say, what are you doing? I say, well, just buy it all. I have gold, silver, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Like I said, I'm just betting against my government. That's all I'm doing, the stupidity of them.
Yeah.
And the reason, I'm not judging Bitcoin, I'm judging the stupidity of our government. And and being a real estate guy, when I look at how much debt is going to default, and the question is, when all those office buildings around San Francisco can't pay the rent, who's going to bail them out? That's why I put my 50,000 bet. It was a bet against the economy. It wasn't a bet on Bitcoin. And I'm betting they're going to print. If they don't print, we're screwed anyway. So that's kind of my philosophy. It's not a very sophisticated philosophy, but I'd rather have Bitcoin than dollars right now. That's all I'm saying. Back and I go, why the heck you guys arguing? Just get as much as you can right now, because the government's screwed. We're screwed. Our whole economy is screwed. We're so deeply in debt, we can't even, it's sinking into like quicksand right now, and you're arguing about which one should I have, gold or silver or Bitcoin. Just buy something.
Why you need Bitcoin. In this video, Robert Kiyosaki speaks on Bitcoin, Ethereum, cryptocurrency, and blockchain. You may know Robert Kiyosaki from Rich Dad Poor Dad, and in the last 2 weeks, Kiyosaki has been diving headfirst into the world of cryptocurrency and getting educated on all things Bitcoin. Check out what his thoughts are and why you need to be holding Bitcoin and Ethereum. I am quickly becoming a huge Robert Kiyosaki fan, as despite his age, Kiyosaki is learning as much as he can. He's been a huge gold and silver bull in the past, but he's not stubbornly sticking to the assets he knows best. He's getting educated and jumping into all things blockchain. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video, where Kiyosaki, or Rich Dad, shares his thoughts on Elon Musk and Tesla buying Bitcoin, and if other companies are going to follow in their footsteps. We also go over one new piece of Bitcoin data that suggests where the Bitcoin price is likely to go from here. Also, only a tiny percentage of people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. If you enjoy the video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. Enjoy the video.
Because what we're talking about today with Bitcoin and Ethereum and cyber, it's invisible. And, the brain is designed to see the physical. The mind is designed to see the invisible. And so for people who are brain-oriented, they're screwed right now. And you have to go into your mind to see the relationship between, let's say, gold and Bitcoin, or Bitcoin and Ethereum, because it's in your mind, it's not in your brain. And that's the tough part right now for many old guys like me. So I'm just grateful I have a lot of gold, silver, Bitcoin, and Ethereum, and I don't get into the argument. Like Peter Schiff he's arguing about gold and silver, and Max Kaiser's arguing back. And I go, why the heck you guys arguing? Just get as much as you can right now, because the government's screwed. We're screwed. Our whole economy is screwed. We're so deeply in debt, we can't even, it's sinking into like quicksand right now, and you're arguing about which one should I have, gold or silver or Bitcoin. Just buy something. Just like, like JP Morgan, I think they paid $95 billion fine for manipulating the gold market when those criminals get into the blockchain. And, hopefully, all I understand about blockchain, it's more secure and more transparent. and less manipulable than what JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs were doing. So let me give you my logic system, because, I'm a really old guy, and I looked at this whole thing, and I just didn't trust my government. That was it. I didn't trust Wall Street. I took 3 companies public, and every time I did that, I got nauseous. Do you know what I mean? I just got sick at how they manipulated, lied, cheat, steal. And so that's why I stayed out of the stock market. I mean, it cost me a lot, because I refused to jump into the den of thieves, or where I didn't know who was screwing who out there. And I stayed in real estate, and I stayed as an entrepreneur, things that I could control and I had management over. But it sounds like to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that what blockchain did to it is it brought trust, a little bit more trust and transparency, and less not criminal, but you guys would jump over anybody in there who was screwing with the system. So, a derivative is an interesting phenomenon, and it's, you've gone into the mind now. It does, you have this piece of real estate. The mortgage is the derivative, and then when they put MBS as mortgage-backed securities, that was a derivative on a derivative, and that's why when it collapsed in 2008, it collapsed. So that's why I'm listening carefully. I think right now I'll stay with Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, silver, and hang tight in there. But for the young guys who you guys grew up in the area of technology, I didn't. So your minds are different. Your minds are developed. You can see the invisible, where I'm still in the brain phase where I can only see what I can see, touch, and feel. Yeah, it sounds like to me that's what brought down the real estate market, was a thing called derivatives. So they would take a mortgage, and then they would chop it up and sell it to other people.
Yes.
And so they're now taking crypto and then making derivatives out of it, or they could do it with anything. So what holds it all together then is blockchain.
Yep.
Because blockchain is the contract. Well, that's why I understand it.
Blockchain makes it not just secure, but transparent, and then you can audit the code. You can see everything is everything is reasonable and not suspicious, because it's on blockchain.
Yeah, so the way I understand blockchain, which doesn't work in the old world of real estate, gold, silver, and all that, was you never knew what those guys were doing with it. There was no transparency in the Fed or Wall Street. And so what blockchain does is it's a decentralized system, right? And everybody's a part of it. It's not like the Fed is in charge of it. If I was to go and try and change the system of Wall Street, let's say, there'd be a lot of guys who would be upset.
Yeah.
Because they're making too much money the way it is. Why are you going to come in here? And so you'd have to go to Congress and the Senate and make all these changes. You guys are making these changes on the fly, just because I think you guys trust blockchain. You don't trust human beings. I'll hold Polkadot for a while. Way back when, in the 2000s, that was 21 years ago, they had the dot-com area blew up, and I think the only ones that survived were I guess Facebook and Amazon, and there was pets.com, and everybody was starting a dot-com company back in 1999, 2000, and all this, and it all collapsed down, and only the real survived, should we say, which was Amazon and those guys. It kind of reminds me of the old days, when I was in the disco running around time. There'd be this one disco open up, or this nightclub, and everybody be there. Then about 2 months later, some other guy had opened another one. Everybody was over there. Another guy went broke. That's kind of what it reminds me of right now. And that's why it's important people listen to this Rich Dad radio program, so you can have a concept of how fast this is moving. And the mind can only see what's invisible. And so you guys are operating in the invisible. And that makes it hard for somebody who's been playing with gold and silver and real estate. The mind is not geared for the invisible as much. I was talking about we have a brain and we have a mind. The brain is the physical, to see, touch, and feel. But the mind gets the relationship, the invisible. So one is physical, one is metaphysical. And not the challenge or what's happened with Bitcoin or with crypto, it's gone invisible. So you can't see it. You have to educate your brain so your mind can see what's going on, because you can't see it. It's not like gold or silver or real estate. You can see, touch, and feel. This world is so different now. It's like you don't need Wall Street anymore. You can have a crypto Wall Street in the sky called Polkadot, or whatever you want to call it. And these young guys are just inventing it. And if you don't see the new Wall Street building going up called Polkadot, you missed the boat.